Alrighty, hello and welcome to another episode for Breaking Mjolnir. As I've said previously, there is no live commentary for this video. I had a issue with my capture software where it wasn't recording audio. I've only done it for the first two videos in this series, so after this we will get back to live commentary. But as for right now, we are continuing trial 1064. I'm picking out some food to eat here. I've probably mentioned before that food is not exactly necessary when doing this trial, but I have picked up so much of it here and there that I'm just using it to get it out of my inventory. I suppose I could sell it to an NPC, but I decided to use it instead. Anyway, I thought maybe I'd explain more about these trials I'm doing for my Mjolnir. As I've said before, it is a relic weapon, and there is a process of obtaining it just by itself. It's a series of... It's not exactly quests, because they don't show up in your quest log. But basically it's part of Dynamis. Dynamis is a 2-hour event where only certain items can be obtained. One of those items is the base items for the weapon. So in this instance, I had to obtain a relic maul. And then you go and trade that to a goblin NPC up in Castle Zval Bailey's, which is up north in Zarkabard. You start off by trading that to him, and then he'll start asking for items and currency. And let me pull up what those items are. Those items Sorry, it's been a while since I've done all this, so I'm looking it up for us. Okay, so stage 1 is basically just obtaining the relic maul. You trade that to Switch Sticks, and he will ask you for certain things. Here we go. You trade the base weapon to him, and he'll ask you for these things. He'll ask for a Lutz ingot, a platinum ingot, and a rainbow cloth, which are all somewhat easily available, and 500 bronze pieces, which is the ancient currency that you can obtain in Dynamis from monsters. You have to wait a bit of time, but after a while he will present you with a battering maul. Alright, so for some reason my narration stopped in the middle of recording, and I'm just now figuring out where it stopped. So this is actually the second time recording this part of the narration for this video. So, basically, well, the last time I started out, I was going through how I started this relic weapon. This relic weapon is also known as a dynamis weapon. You build it through dynamis, is how you actually get the physical weapon. And then the rest of these trials are for upgrading the weapon. Whew. Sorry, give me a minute, I'm talking too fast. Okay, so basically you start out by going into dynamis and getting the base weapon, which for my Mjolnir, it's a relic maul. And it's just a very basic weapon, like it's a damage 1, delay 999 kind of weapon. Basically junk. So you take it over to Castles of All Baileys, which is in Zarkabard. There's a goblin there, and that's where you start trading stuff to. So you trade it to him along with some materials, just basic materials, like there's a platinum ingot. And I had this all looked up for you guys at one point. Let's see if I can find it for you again. But basically there are 5 stages for this weapon. This is also known as the Relic Club. Only White Mage can wield it, which is why I am on my White Mage and doing trials such as this. The goblin asks for a Woods ingot, a platinum ingot, and rainbow cloth, and then 5 Montiant silver pieces or 500 Ordell bronze pieces. Once you've given that all to the goblin and waited a certain amount of time, he will give you a battering maul. Now, battering maul's got a little better damage on it, but it's still not a very good weapon to wield. So you hand it back to the goblin along with a warhammer, a holy maul, a brass hammer, and 16 100 bind bills, or 1600 1 bind bills. And again, you have to wait a certain period of time before you get that back, and that comes back as a dynamis maul. Okay, and then what you do is you trade this back to the goblin along with a attestation of sacrifice, which is something that you get from the Bosidine NMs. Yeah, the Bosidine NM, which is a shadow or a form or whatever you want to call it. It's basically got a shape to it. It's human looking, or whatever you want to call it. He drops lots of different attestations, but the one you need for the hammer is the attestation of sacrifice. You also need 62 Lungo Nongo jade shells or 6,200 Tukuku white shells. And again, you wait for another period of time and you get back a Galantani. Okay, you trade that along with a Necropsyche, which is an item dropped from the dragons in Dynamis Zarkabard, a Heavenly Fragment, which is also dropped by a notorious monster popped NM in Dynamis Zarkabard, along with 1 Ranpair gold piece, which is the equivalent of 100 Montiant silver pieces or 10,000 Ordell bronze pieces. You take all that and trade it to a blank spot in the Sanctuary of Zeta, and you'll get a Mjolnir, which is what I've got here. So, after that, you can further upgrade your Mjolnir, and that is by doing the Trials of the Magians. I've already done one of those trials before we started this video series, and that was Trial 1063. And that was basically use the weapon skill Randgrith, which you've been watching me use to kill these sheeps. But you use it versus lizards. And what I did there was I took it over to Gustav Tunnel, grabbed a Grounds of Valor page, essentially, and went down into the basement and killed lots of adamantoises down there. Got lots of merit points, got lots of capacity points while I was down there too. And so I'm currently on trial 1064, and if you've been watching these videos, you know exactly what that entails. It involves the murdering of these fluffy sheep. Okay, so the next one is trial 1866, which is basically the same thing we're doing here, except against amorphs, which essentially are worms. Yep. So we'll be going back to Gustav Tunnel. I'll be showing you those adamantoises I killed in the previous trial, but we're also going to be killing some giant worms down there. I'm going to be grabbing the Save Grounds of Valor page, and we're just going to basically be murdering the turtles and the worms down there. And getting lots more merit points, getting lots more capacity points, and getting lots more of objectives done. Okay, so the trial after that is trial 1867, and that is against vermin, which we will be coming back to this area because you'll be able to kill the chipuli, which are the little grasshopper things here, the mantids, which are the great big praying mantis things, and the twitherm, which are like groups of little sparkly butterflies. We can also kill the bees, the ladybugs, and I think there's one more that I can't think of. But anyway, there'll be lots of little things that we can just murder on our way through this place. Hopefully I'll be able to find something like the sheep where I can just hang out and kill them and they will respawn for us at a decent rate. But if not, there might be a couple of areas we'll go through to kill different things. So I'll be showing you more of this area in those trials. The next trial is trial 2273, and that is against birds. And birds include the Tulfares, which is in another Adoulin region. The Tulfares are actually quite hard, so I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to go against them. So, yeah, we'll be fighting Tulfares as our last kill things with Rangrith trial. The trial after that is trial 2684, and that is killing the notorious monster from Bosidine 5 times. So those videos will be quite longer because Dynamis generally, if you do it right, it'll last for 2 hours. Yeah, so those videos are going to be long, and they're just generally going to be a pain for me to edit because they're going to be so long, but there you are. The next one after that is somewhat the same. That is trial 3117, and that is against the notorious monster in Zargabard, Dynamis Zargabard. Have to kill that one 10 times, but that one's not quite as hard as the first one. So again, that'll be more Dynamis videos. After that, it's item collecting quests. I've got a couple of the items already, but they are quite expensive, so they will be taking a long while to achieve. So I might just make a video at the end of me turning in all the items necessary to get this thing upgraded to the final. Trial 3580 is Umbral Malware times 5. I've got 2 of them. I need 3 more yet. The next trial after that is 3630, and that it requires 250 Umbral Marrows. To get an Umbral Marrow, you need at least a very dedicated group to go and kill the Shadow Lord, who is the ultimate boss of all the Dynamis areas. You cannot kill him by yourself. You need a group. so it's unlikely that's going to happen. But you can sell the Umbral Marrow on the auction house, and it's roughly about 1,000,000 gil per piece. So yeah, that's going to take a while. After that, there's an upgrade through a NPC named Obero, and he will require 300 pieces of Pluton. There is a second upgrade to that, but I think if I do the trial 3630, that the second upgrade really isn't that bad. So I'll let you know how all that goes. But that is how all the trials work together. That is what this series is for. That is what we will be doing in future videos and episodes and trials. So hopefully this doesn't get too boring for you guys watching it and too boring for me recording it. It's actually gotten better now that I fixed my audio capture settings. So that's progress. Still got quite a while to go in this video. Dynamis is one of my favorite events. It was my first endgame event ever. Loved it so much that when my first main job was White Mage, so when I got the Relic Maul, I ran off immediately to trade it to the Goblin, even though I didn't have any currency, didn't have any idea what I was doing, or anything like that. And so basically what I'm trying to say is that it took me about 10 years to finish this weapon from stage 1 to stage 5, because one, in the beginning I was never serious about it. When I did finally get serious about it, I was able to farm it on my own and kept all the pieces that I collected. Basically I farmed the pieces and I didn't buy them. I did buy the last few hundred pieces, the Montillon silver pieces that I needed. So now I'm essentially broke. But it was worth it, entirely worth it. I now have a relic weapon and I am so happy with it. In fact, once I get to a certain point, I think I might start farming for another one. I've got several attestations, several other pieces that I need all ready to go, so it won't take that much to make another one, now that I know how to do it. I've actually got several. If I can find them here. Let's see. I've got almost all the pieces. Well, I've got the attestation and a fragment to do the relic side. Or, yeah, the relic side, the Apocalypse. I need the base weapon and then the Necropsyche from one of the dragons. And then, of course, a bunch of ancient currency from Dynamis. The same holds true for the Gjallar horn, which is a bard horn. I've got the attestation and the fragment. I just need the Necropsyche and again a bunch of currency. I think I've got some stuff. Yep, I've got some stuff from for Bravura, which is the Relic Great Axe. I don't have the fragment, is that right? No, I've got the item that pops the monster that drops the fragment is what I've got. But the fragment is one of the easier things to grab. I've got the attestation to do the relic shield. I've got attestations to do the dagger and the sword. So I could essentially keep going for quite a while here. But I don't know exactly how many of those I actually want, or how kind of effort I want to put into getting all those. It'd be nice to have all of them, but I don't know if I want to go through all this effort to upgrade them and whatnot. I do know that I want to do it with Mjolnir because it is my first relic weapon. But anyway. A lot of these things I've gotten from the Goblin Mystery Box. Like the couple of pieces of Umbral Marrow I already have, I got from the Goblin Mystery Box. From those of you who don't know, I do post what I get from the Goblin Mystery Box over on my Tumblr. I screenshot everything so you can see what I get. Apart from Umbral Marrow and relic weapon items, you can get Paragon job cards, get pieces of Pluton, and just a random smattering of other things. Like today I got a bunch of rare exclusive armor and weapons. I got a Bard scroll. I got a scroll of break yesterday. Usually I get stuff like gnat pellets and like I got a sea lion crest key, and all those went back into the box. Yeah, so sometimes it's kind of a dud and sometimes it's not. Oh yes, in here Valine Earl is getting into his routine of killing off the sheep with a weapon skill. And I think I do eventually slap him here for it pretty soon. Because he's being very naughty. I'm halfway thinking about trading him out for a different trust, but I haven't decided which one I'd like to do. I might do Sakura, maybe, because I think she's got, well, for one, it's a baby chocobo, and it's cute as a button. For another, she's got a refresh aura, which would help Kupipi out. And my bards, who also have cure and whatnot. So I might do that. And then I won't have to worry about him killing off the sheep, which is very, very naughty of him. I do really like him as a trust, as a paladin, as a tank, though. He's just getting very annoying for my weapon trials, and I don't necessarily need a tank. But I don't necessarily need a tank for these kinds of trials. It actually works better if there's not a whole lot of trusts or party members beating up the mobs, because then I can control when I kill it. So yeah, he's actually pretty annoying in this video, killing off my mobs before I can. But anyway, no idea what I'd replace him with, so we'll just leave that for now, and maybe I'll figure it out in an upcoming video. For now, we'll just see about getting another objective done before the end here. sheep song again. It's kind of nice when sheep song goes off. And there went my added effect. And here we're going to see about trying to kill this guy. Getting ready, and the laner kills it. And we give him a good slap for his efforts. Alright, so we're going to go about trying to get at least another objective done here before I have to quit the video. I'm trying to figure out how I can get him to use his weapon skill somewhere in the middle of the battle rather than at the end. Don't know if this works or not, but I think it does help to get him to use his weapon skill a little faster. Or at least I hope it does. That was the planning on that with me not working on it, was letting him get his TP up so that maybe he'd use his weapon skill quicker. Which he kind of does. But I don't have my weapon skill set up, so I miss it. I end up slapping the sheep instead of weapon skilling the sheep to death. Which reminds me, I should actually probably have a macro for that. I haven't done macros in years because I haven't done any group events in years. I used to have some fancy macros for my warrior, but I think I had some for my white mage too, but I think they've updated a lot of the macro combinations. So I'd have to look into all that again. So I think they've updated, like, you can store armor set combinations in the macro system, so that you only have to write one line when you want to change your gear set, like from TP set to weapon skill set. And so on and so forth. Here I'm checking to see if I actually killed it, and I did, but not with my weapon skill. No, I did with my weapon skill. There it was. Alright, I've got one more objective that I want to get in with this video. And everybody's asleep thanks to the sheep song. So we're going to try this again. And I think I do pull it off with this sheep. I think Valenriel behaves himself. And we go ahead and get it killed. And I get to kill it, get my objective, and we carry on with our lives. So that's what we're going to do here. There goes his weapon skill. So whatever it was I did somehow got him off his rotation of killing the sheep with his weapon skill. And I've got my weapon skill ready. Just waiting for it to get down to a suitable HP. And there we go. Alrighty, so that's going to be the end of this video for now. We'll see if I change up my truss in the next upcoming videos. Other than that, thank you for watching. Thank you for making it this far into this video with all this rambling and non-live commentary. The next videos will have live commentary. So we'll see you then.